Tracy Gallagher for the Travel Channel at the world-famous Hollywood sign. But it didn't always look like this. Back in the 20s, it read Hollywoodland, and over the years, there have been a few other creative name changes. When the Pope came to town, it was Holywood, and a couple of college pranksters made it Caltech. But there's more to Hollywood than the sign. From inside Universal Studios to the top of Capitol Records, you'll be singing Hooray for Hollywood, Sunday, March 17th, starting at 8 on the Travel Channel. What do you think?
They come for the cool thrill and the giant spin.
The biggest rush.
What a wedgie!
Awesome ride! Water parks across America are making a big splash, and the experience of getting wet has turned into a great American pastime. Whether you're a thrill seeker,
the guests kind of lose their minds,
or just out to spend a relaxing day afloat,
all they have to do is sit in the tube and the water takes care of them.
The craze has caught on.
People love water parks because humans are enthralled with water.
Next, get set to get wet as we count down the 10 most exciting water parks in America. We'll start all the way from 10 and slide to number 1. So hang on tight to your bathing suit as we plunge into the wild, wet, and wonderful world of America's best water parks. For decades, Americans have loved good, clean fun, and water recreation has always been a red, white, and blue ritual. But in recent years, a whole new way to beat the heat has evolved.
Over the last 10 years, water parks have evolved into family places where it's not just a thrill seeker afternoon. The whole family can go and enjoy a day of entertainment.
Water lovers used to be satisfied with a trip to the beach, lake, or sometimes just out to their own backyard. But in 1976, the first official water park opened in Orlando, Florida, Disney's River Country.
It's unbelievable how people have taken to water parks. They love them.
That's because today's water parks are using up-to-the-minute technology. Like theme parks, water parks compete with each other to have the best rides to grab our attention. Let's begin. Our countdown of America's best water parks starts at number 10. Just a 2.5-hour drive from Milwaukee is the country's largest water park, aptly named Noah's Ark. Located in the picturesque Wisconsin Dells, Noah's Ark's 70 acres constitute a park of biblical proportions. Opened in 1979, the park provides nearly 500,000 visitors each year a place to escape those muggy Midwestern summers. And for many, a trip to Noah's Ark has become a sort of religious ritual.
Actually, I started coming up here about 12 years ago with my family and made it a ritual ever since, and then he and I started coming here about 3 years ago.
So what is it about Noah's Ark that keeps people coming back year after year?
The water's great. It's real warm. The rides are a lot of fun. They have all different speeds. I like a lot of the fast rides. It's a great day at the park. You know, we start off early about 10 o'clock and end up about 5. So, a lot of water.
I think all the rides were great. There's something for everyone.
And with 35 different water slides to choose from, there's something designed for every age. The ride that is fast becoming the signature of the park is Flash Flood. This ultra-drenching ride starts when you enter a boat that can handle up to 20 people. It then climbs 50 feet up in the air before providing an unforgettable rush as it plummets into a pool of water, creating a 50-foot splash in the front and a 25-foot plume on either side of the boat. This ride handles 1,200 people an hour. Because of this, wait time in line is not a problem.
Flash Flood, I think a lot of kids like it. Some of the kids are scared, but once they get up there and they're coming down, they think it's a big bath.
But there is one ride at Noah's Ark that everyone is talking about.
The most popular ride is Black Thunder.
because we do exit surveys, people say that that is definitely the best ride.
Black Thunder is scary, and that's what people like about it.
And those who are brave enough to ride it go down, you guessed it, 2 by 2.
We are at the top of the Witch's Gulch slide of Black Thunder, and it's great. We've done it probably about 10 times today alone.
Black Thunder is nearly 500 feet of lightning-fast fun in watery darkness, with almost as many scary twists and turns as real life.
You sit in the tubes, the heavier person goes first. That way the weight's more balanced for the speed of it. They give you a push off, and there you go.
Getting to the end and seeing the light of day can be a relief. But the biggest concern at the bottom of the ride is, can we go again? The Big Kahuna is Noah's Ark's staple wave pool attraction for families.
The wave pool is the anchor of any water park. It's where people run to. And they set up their lounge area in front of the wave pool just like they're at the ocean.
But how do you create Hawaiian-sized waves in the Cheese State?
When you look at the pool, the back wall of the pool, there are actually air chambers. You're forcing air down into the chambers just enough to force water out of the chamber, and then you synchronize those chambers to form different types of waves.
And since no one likes ice-cold ocean waves, Noah's Ark heats their water.
The large stacks that you see behind me are the stacks for the heaters. The heat that you put into this pool, you can heat 10 houses in a day.
And how do Noah's Ark's technicians keep the water clean and fresh?
Also in this pump house, we have the filtration system. And it's a system of tanks that have sand and gravel at the bottom of them, and the water goes through that. It filters out the finite particles and sends the water back into the pool in a clean manner. 1.2 million gallons of water is filtered every 4 hours.
To provide enough water to keep Noah's Ark afloat, it would have to rain 40 days and 40 nights.
The park as a whole has over 5 million gallons of water in it. A wave pool, say the Big Kahuna, which would be our largest pool, has 1.2 million gallons of water. The one other thing that we pride ourselves in, other than friendliness and cleanliness, obviously is safety. When you're dealing with people in water, there's a risk involved. So it's very important that we're always on our toes and that we remain a very safe park. And we are considered one of the top-notch safety parks in the country.
And that's why Noah's Ark is our number 10 pick on our list of America's best water parks. Ironically, the only drawback to the Ark? No pets allowed. If a true oasis is what you have in mind, our next park should be your first stop. Now for our number 9 pick for best water park, Wet n Wild in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas sits here in the Mojave Desert, the southwestern United States, certainly the hottest spot in North America. Death Valley has made it to 134 degrees before. It's a dry heat. It can zap you.
It's hot here. It's 115, 110, 118 during the summer.
Of course, Wet n Wild isn't usually the first stop for your average Las Vegas tourist. But after one tires of craps, blackjack, and roulette, there is a true oasis waiting.
The Wet n Wild Water Park in Las Vegas is a true American water park. It is just full of rides and attractions and fun and color. It's a great experience.
Opened in 1985, Wet n Wild quickly became a fun, watery alternative to the hustle and bustle on the Vegas Strip.
It takes a while for the tourists to find Wet n Wild. You know, they're here to play, to stay up late at night, and once they do discover the park, then we've certainly secured a loyal customer for a long time.
Nestled on 26 acres of lush green, Wet n Wild has some of the best rides around. Ron and his friend Trish are ready to pay homage to the porcelain god. It's Wet n Wild's most popular ride, the Royal Flush. The Royal Flush looks and feels like a large toilet bowl. And what goes down the drain? You. It all starts as you speed down a cascading chute, much like being flushed down a pipe. You hit speeds of 45 miles per hour before being spit out into the bowl. Then you swirl around and are dumped into a pool of delicious cold water.
I thought I was going to be okay, and then I started going really fast.
Yeah, when
and then you come in,
your face, you couldn't see.
which I think if you go fast enough, you can go all the way around. You're dumped right out, so yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
We've got the million gallons of water, we've got the lush tropical landscape, we've got the variety for everybody to enjoy, so what better name to call a water park than Wet n Wild?
And the water ride to conquer at this park is Der Stuka, which is German for the bomber. To experience this blitzkrieg of a ride, you must climb 76 feet off the ground.
The thrill of a vertical drop is, to me, the adrenaline. It's the anticipation of leading up to it, climbing the tower.
Then you enter a bomb bay. And then it's bombs away. You're dropped into a 70-degree angle free fall that takes 3.5 seconds before coming to a safe but heart-pounding stop on a 100-foot runway.
I'm a big guy, but I still hang on to the rails. First, say, 3 or 4 seconds, you only feel like your back's against the slide itself. And after that, it's like free fall.
And where does all this water come from for Wet n Wild? An underground water tunnel from Lake Mead, 20 miles away, which also supplies the rest of the Vegas Strip. Wet n Wild attracts nearly 500,000 guests a year. So what's the secret to running a successful water park?
You never take a customer for granted. You got to sell them every time.
Kids and adults seem to agree that Wet n Wild has earned its name and our number 9 spot. Our next park is for those who don't want to go to the desert, but prefer their parks peachy. Coming in at number 8, we're heading down to the southeast coast. Located in Marietta, Georgia, just outside Atlanta, is Six Flags Whitewater. Even before the name Whitewater was a White House scandal, this was one of the South's most popular water parks.
Whitewater, Marietta, Georgia is a beautiful park. It's built in the pines on the hills. So when you walk in the park, you're walking through these giant old timber pine trees. And the feeling when you come in is just great.
My favorite thing about the park probably is the trees and the plant life. We've left over 5,000 trees here at Whitewater, indigenous to North Georgia and the native landscaping. And it makes it really, really special. Everywhere you go, the rides snake in and around the trees and through the trees. We do everything possible to keep the trees up while we build rides, even in the woods. And I think when people come here, that's one of the first things they notice is very natural, very pretty.
The trees offer the best shade, but that's not the only reason people flock here.
The park itself has waves, lazy rivers, slides, family rides. It's a conventional, typical water park of the old style. I really like it.
Whitewater also has an attraction that the Swiss Family Robinson envy.
I think that the tree house there is probably the standout attraction. It's a giant tree house, interactive children's family play structure. It really looks nice.
Tree house is really fun because you're just always getting wet, and when the bucket pours on you, it's fun because you get to run around and stuff and go on because there's lots of slides. You get to go on the slides.
It's a tree house. You never know when something's going to hit you.
Then after romping around in Georgia's thick humidity, Whitewater's lazy river is the place to cool off.
At the end of the day, when you're real tired and it's been a long day, you can just float. It kind of, probably about a 5 or 10 mile an hour stream, and it's effortless and lovely and wonderful.
It goes all the way around the wave pool.
I think sitting on a lazy river with your toes hanging underneath and going under willow trees that extend down into the water is a fantasy. Yeah, I'll take it.
But after your nap, it's time for more excitement. And at Whitewater, the park's famous high dive act always draws a crowd.
2, 1, go.
Whitewater's the best park in the world.
We've been coming to this park for about 10 or 11 years, and the great thing about it is that they have a little something for everybody. And the big kids and the little kids, it's a great way to spend an afternoon, especially in the heat of a Georgia summer.
We all agree on going to Whitewater. We're a family. We do rides together. They go off on their own. We have a great time.
So slide on down to the South's largest water park, Whitewater, our number 8 pick. Coming up, where do you... America's water parks attract millions of visitors annually, and new parks spring up every year. So how do you choose? Well, we've done the legwork for you. Our top 10 countdown of America's best water parks continues with number 7. Just 10 miles outside Denver, Colorado is Waterworld. It's the place to go when your skis are in the garage. The park's 64 acres make it one of the biggest in the country. Even though it's big, you won't find too many straight lines on this property.
We get straight lines at school, we get straight lines at work, we get straight lines when we're driving down the highway. We don't need those when we're playing and vacationing.
That's the philosophy Waterworld is based on. To have a clean, safe, and family-oriented water park at an affordable price while taking those curves. Here's a splashy love story. Hillary and Kyle met while working here one summer. Now newlyweds, the couple decided to come back to bask in their Waterworld romance. The first place they visit is the most popular attraction at Waterworld, Voyage to the Center of the Earth, a truly cutting-edge ride, which incorporates 15 different animatronic dinosaurs on a wild and watery journey to the Earth's core.
And it is just so well themed. I mean, you go through it, and it's like being at a major amusement park on a water ride. And that's kind of started the dark ride business.
What he means by dark is the ambience created by the use of light.
You go into this place where there's a dinosaur who takes his head and pulls it around the corner and like growls at you.
This ride is what many say will be the future of water parks for its big atmosphere, special effects, and even bigger price tag. This Voyage to the Center of the Earth ride cost almost as much as actually going there. A cool $350,000 to create.
I think we're going to see a lot more of those added to water parks over the next few years as we see the water park and the amusement park merge into one synergistic product.
Since Hillary and Kyle vowed to be together in sickness and in health, they might need to comfort each other after this tummy twister. It's a slip, slide, and ride shaped like a half-pipe. You get the same feeling as skateboarders swooping down the curve, and it's called the Zoomerang.
We're waiting for the Zoomerang. It's a really scary ride, supposedly, and he said he'd never do it.
Supposedly, it's supposed to be scary. I'm not scared, though.
He said, you're right! He said he would never do it, and I finally talked him into it.
Oh, my goodness.
The next test the newlyweds must endure is the prank tank. This is a ride that can put a drain on any relationship. The prank tank is similar to the Royal Flush. You're sent hurtling down a speedy tube that spits you out into a big bowl where you swirl and swirl around until ultimately you drop into a large water tank.
Oh, my stomach! I get a little nervous every time I go on the prank thing, but it'll be okay.
Thinking I don't want to do it. Look down, it's really high. No, we're going.
are some rides, like the Flatline, that Daredevil Hillary just can't convince her new husband to try. The Flatline is 80 feet high and sends riders down at a 70-degree grade at 40 miles per hour.
Kyle's too big of a chicken for...
Chicken's the right word. Yeah. I'm not doing that.
He doesn't like heights.
See how tall that is? There's no way. It's way too high for me. The drop is straight down, 60 feet. No way. I'm not doing it.
I'll go on all the daring rides. Oh gosh, yeah, the first thing you know is you go and then you just drop straight off the slide. It's really scary.
Waterworld, our number 7 pick for America's best water park. A not-so-dry Rocky Mountain high, and a spot where some find the courage to take the plunge. For those who prefer their waves on the Pacific, our next park is for you. For number 6, we head out to the fun and sun of the Gold Coast and surf into Soak City, USA. The folks at Knott's Berry Farm, a Southern California landmark and one of the country's oldest theme parks, opened this state-of-the-art water park in June of 2000.
Well, we've taken a lot of the new rides and attractions and water parks throughout the country. We've got to kind of hand-pick the ones that we know are the most popular, and so we kind of got to learn from other parks and kind of pick and choose the rides that we thought were the best.
And although there are just 13 acres of this one-time fertile berry land, it's jam-packed with 21 major water slides, like Point Break, Shark Reef, and the Zuma Express. People come for the great rides, but also for the great location.
When people come to Southern California, they want to go to a theme park and they want to go to the beach. So here we've given them both.
Soak City's surfer hangout theme is inspired by the Southern California beach towns of the 1950s.
We knew we had the best theme in the world right in our backyard, so why not take advantage of it?
When we're working on designing new stuff or designing a park, we try to look at each group of people. Children, all the different ages, and we try to design an area for each group.
If you come in a water park, you really pretty much have to be a kid, or at least have to act like a kid.
And that's our number 6 pick, Soak City, one of Southern California's best places to kid around. Welcome back to our countdown of America's best water parks. Water parks have entered the Hall of Fame of America's favorite pastimes. Did you know that visitors have adopted the same rules for water parks that they have for the beach? They get there early, grab a lounge chair, spread their towels, and stake their claim. For most, the wave pool becomes base camp for the day. Now our countdown continues with number 5, a big city soaker near the Big Apple. Just 1 hour from the heart of New York, where things can get pretty hot because of the concrete and skyscrapers, is Long Island's very own water park. Chip Cleary, the president of Splish Splash, came up with this cool idea.
The vision of Splish Splash from the beginning was to take a forest and only cut out the areas we needed to cut out and leave the forest intact. So you would have this kind of Adirondack experience 1 hour from Manhattan on Long Island, New York.
Chip gives away his secret recipe for a successful water park.
Our whole deal here is to take the best of the forest with the best technology that water parks have to offer, stir it together, add a little color for the background, and give you a great experience.
So, Chip, would Splish Splash be a good spot to keep cool on a hot and sticky New York day?
Okay, dumb question of the day. Is it a good place to stay cool? Yes, it's the best place to stay cool. The forest, the trees, the flowers, and 1.5 million gallons of water.
This 60-acre timberland park has 30 different rides, but the Cliff Diver, a speed slide, is the park's number 1 attraction. Scary fun starts with a long walk up to the top of the ride. It usually takes more time for people to build up their courage than it does for them to enjoy the ride. Because once they decide to go, they drop 80 feet straight down at 55 miles per hour.
I'm so scared. I don't know why I'm doing this. Oh my God.
Don't look down. All you're going to do is lay down.
I'm going to go down this thing now. I see a giant drop, and I'm really scared. But hopefully it's not going to be that bad. fun. It better be a lot of fun, or else I'm gonna kill my dad. Oh my gosh! That was nuts! That was absolutely nuts!
Were you scared?
Really scared.
You made it!
Yep.
Some of the other cool attractions are Mammoth River Rapids, Max Tracks, and Shotgun Falls.
Splish Splash is a pretty neat park. It's got some great slides in it. They've got great kiddie areas, and it's really well themed. It's a neat themed water park.
This is the escape from New York City urban heat, making Splish Splash our #5 park. If New York City is not your hotspot, try heading down to Virginia. For our #4 pick, this park is so close to Washington, D.C., it would be a great place for Congress to cool off.
Water Country in Virginia is the all-American park. It has every attraction, provides a full day of fun, and a tremendous safe setting.
And it has an all-American theme even the colonists would have enjoyed.
Water Country USA prides itself on its 50-60s theme that centers around the surfing era, with attractions like Surfers Bay, Cowabunga, Atomic Breakers, and Wild Thing. We're able to give our guests something new and different and an escape from their everyday life.
This Aqua Escape offers over 40 liquid attractions on its 25-acre site. And its newest ride, opened in the summer of 2000, is the fastest and steepest thrill at the park. They call it the Meltdown. You can't use a surfboard on this ride. Based on Olympic bobsled racing, this high-speed toboggan ride starts 40 feet in the air. Riders are propelled down a 75-foot vertical drop that has a 180-degree turn designed to maximize banking. Thrill seekers move at a pulse-pounding rate of 22 feet per second. It takes 35 seconds to go the 700 feet from top to bottom. This can surely be classified as a white-knuckle ride.
It's new and fun and
Really fast.
Yeah, real fast.
All of us can go in together. Then we don't have to split up and wonder who's going to ride with who.
And if you can survive the Meltdown, the 39 other Water Country rides should be no problem. This super speed slide attracts the park's more competitive patrons. They call it the Nitro Racer. It allows up to 6 friends to compete to see who's the fastest. Racers take their mark at the top and fly down the 52-foot track at speeds topping 15 miles per hour. This is one ride that doesn't get old because the adrenaline is always flowing.
And at the end of the day, when you see these families rushing in, splashing, mothers, kids, fathers, all having a wonderful time, it's probably one of the most rewarding experiences that I can think of.
Water Country in Virginia is our #4 pick because it has every attraction and provides a full day of fun. Next, are you up for riding? In a country as large and diverse as the United States, Americans have endless choices when planning a trip. Theme parks have been a mainstay for decades, but now the water park is topping the list of favorite vacation destinations. Our countdown of America's best water parks picks up at #3. Just an hour from Los Angeles are the raging waters of San Dimas, California. Raging Waters is a unique water park because of its big sandy beach, which helps with the overall Hawaiian Caribbean feeling of the park. And this scenic place is a great location to unwind from a busy class schedule, as these 5 college friends are about to discover.
I'm Amanda. I'm Jen. I'm Natalie. I'm Irina. I'm Tracy.
And all 5 have decided to try something that may alarm their parents.
We're all going to try going on Dropout.
Relax, Mom and Dad, it's just a ride.
Not scary.
The dropout is 7 stories high and sends its riders down at speeds of more than 40 miles per hour. It takes just 7 seconds to complete. Meanwhile, over 1,500 gallons of water are recirculated per minute to help keep riders up to speed. After the dropout, the crazy co-eds can relax on Cove Beach. They even prefer this beach to the real thing.
You don't have to worry about a huge shark getting ready to come eat you. There's all the salt water in your eye. And just in case the waves get a little bit carried away, there's all these lifeguards around.
Other fans of raging waters seem to agree.
The beach is an entirely different thing than this, yeah, but this is a lot of fun. I've been here 3 or 4 times.
So what's next? The students have taken a recess, and now they're ready to take on Thunder Rapids, one of the park's most popular rides. Thunder Rapids is 550 feet of twists, turns, and drops. The 14-foot wide flume accommodates rafts large enough to hold 6 people.
Thunder Rapids, seriously my favorite. I would go on it all day long.
We almost crossed over. It was so crazy. You want the thrill of your life, come to Raging Waters and ride the Thunder Rapids.
This 50-foot drop-off is called the Wedge. This aqua half-pipe will give you the feel extreme skaters have zooming around in a semi-weightless fashion. So if you're not used to feeling light, this will surely be a new sensation. You can be sure at the end of the day, you will have had enough fun in this water wonderland to last until your next trip back. From the sun-kissed coast of Southern California, we now go to the snowy alpine wonder of the Sunshine State. Stand by, because our countdown of America's best water parks is at number 2. This watery wonderland is located in the theme park capital of the world. This is Disney's Blizzard Beach. Disney is famous for its theme parks. In fact, it was Disney that devised the very idea of a theme water park.
Disney's River Country, which was developed in 1976. It was the world's first water park, and many of the water park designs that we see today were taken from our Walt Disney Imagineer's original design at River Country.
River Country takes us back to a time when a trip to the swimming hole was a favorite pastime. Disney's second venture into the world of water parks was Typhoon Lagoon, a tropical paradise that remains a favorite among visitors to Orlando. River Country and Typhoon Lagoon still have loyal followings. Now it's the ingenuity of Blizzard Beach that's getting all the buzz. The Disney Imagineers had a real brainstorm when they envisioned an alpine ski resort melting away in the middle of the Sunshine State.
We're standing out here in 98-degree temperature today. Where else can you go in the world and experience a ski resort like Disney's Blizzard Beach in this heat?
And all that melting snow has created a water winter wonderland.
Blizzard Beach is like no other water park we've been to as a family. It's a perfect place to spend the day. There's really no comparison. Blizzard Beach tops them all.
For the first-time visitors, it's really a mind-blower. They cannot believe the thematic strength and presence that our design team put together around this water park.
You could spend weeks here and the fun would never end. You could be here forever.
Blizzard Beach offers a variety of attractions for all ages, but there's one ride that everyone seems to dive into.
The most popular ride in the park is Steamboat Springs. It's our family raft ride, and it's 1,200 feet long. It's the longest family raft ride in the world.
35,000 gallons of water circulate through the ride, propelling the rafts. With 14 twists and turns, you won't know which end is up.
Steamboat Springs is fun because when you turn around, you're backwards. You can go up, down, sideways, just about anywhere.
But Steamboat Springs is pretty tame compared to this ride. It's called Summit Plummet.
There's no doubt in my mind that this takes the cake in terms of the most thrilling water park ride attraction in the world.
And once you get to the top, there's only one way down. Summit Plummet, at an unbelievable 120 feet high, is currently the world's tallest water slide.
So I'm trying to conquer my fears.
And at speeds of 60 miles an hour, right now it's also the world's fastest.
Oh my God.
There goes nothing.
Wish me luck.
That was the biggest rush. That was so awesome. It's like the tallest, fastest water slide I've ever been on. It was so great.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Scary, but that's cool.
Disney's dedication to excellence, along with their designs for families, make this our #2 park. Don't slip away before... Water parks offer an ideal spot to cool off, get a tan, and get a good dose of excitement and exercise. A trip to the beach or lake just doesn't have the appeal for a lot of folks. Nowadays, people want less lounging and more action. And now, before we get to our top water park, let's recap the top 9. Number 10, Wisconsin's own Noah's Ark, an epic adventure. Number 9, Wet n Wild, the wettest place in Vegas. For number 8, Atlanta's Whitewater, big fun in the Deep South. Number 7, Waterworld in Denver, waves a mile high. Our pick for number 6, Soak City, USA, a California surfer's paradise. Number 5, Splish Splash, a place to head when the Big Apple gets baked. And at number 4, Water Country, USA, a revolutionary water park in historic Williamsburg, Virginia. At number 3, the outrageous raging waters of San Dimas, California. Number 2, Disney's Blizzard Beach, an avalanche of fun in Orlando, Florida. And finally, the moment we've been waiting for, the choice for the best water park in America. What makes this park #1 is it combines the most exciting and innovative rides in the business with a truly unique and unforgettable theme. It's Schlitterbahn. Located deep in the heart of the Lone Star State, this Bavarian-themed water park is the only park in America that actually uses natural spring water to fuel its rides.
Schlitterbahn is truly unique. It's combined the natural beauty of South Texas, flowing rivers and streams, with man-made attractions such as water slides, flow riders, surfing machines, and rivers.
So you may be asking, what does Schlitterbahn mean? Could it be a German opera? An Austrian pastry? The name of the Von Trapp family Schnauzer? Here's a hint.
Schlitterbahn is a German word meaning slippery road, and this is a German community, and we tried to keep the heritage alive.
Jeff Henry is the park's owner and also one of the best-known water slide designers in the world.
I got started in water park design back in 1967 when my father and mother bought a little resort and started building water slides, and I helped my father fabricate the first slides. So 30-something years ago, I was building water slides, and I've been building them ever since.
That little resort has evolved into this, the Schlitterbahn, one of the largest and most popular water parks in America.
Built castles and themed the place after the original castles in Braunfels, Germany, and have brought that theme to this park. And by using the name Schlitterbahn, we've differentiated ourselves from all other water parks.
But because Lederhosen tends to stick to the slides, most people prefer board shorts and bikinis. Still, the park holds up the feel of old Bavaria. Schlitterbahn's 65 acres feature almost as many attractions, and during its 4.5-month season, it attracts nearly 1 million tourists, more than any other water park in America. But this park is not just for tourists. It's also a favorite watering hole for the locals.
We live here in New Braunfels, and our house is about 5 minutes from here, so it's real easy and convenient for us to just pick our things up and go, hey, let's go to Schlitterbahn for a couple of hours and just hang out.
Schlitterbahn is also home to the famous Master Blaster, which was designed by Jeff.
The best ride I've ever built is the Master Blaster. It's the equivalent of a roller coaster in an amusement park in a water park.
The innovative Master Blaster combines a water slide and roller coaster.
My favorite ride is the Master Blaster because it has like this crumpy springy thing. It's like, and it's like right when you go up, there's a drop off, and it feels like if you close your eyes, it feels like you don't know which one's gonna come next, and you get really wet.
I think the Master Blaster is pretty thrilling. It's probably, of all the rides here at the park, it is the most scary.
My favorite ride is the Master Blaster. The scariest ride is probably the Master Blaster, just because you're so high up, and actually you lose your stomach going down it, so it's kind of scared to go on it.
Yeah. When you first start off at the very top of the blaster and the initial drop down, the first drop, it's just your stomach definitely comes up into your mouth, and just the only thing to make yourself feel better is just to scream.
This ride goes up and down and really all around.
And then when it shoots you back up immediately, it's just kind of like, I can't believe I'm actually going uphill. This is great. It's like a roller coaster.
That's great.
Great, it was totally cool.
It just really just goes fast. The water pulls you around on it.
Such a thrill. I think we screamed the whole way down.
It just takes your stomach and puts it up in your throat. And most rides don't do that.
Just across the park is the Schlitterbahn's own Boogie Bahn, set up as a challenge for guests to test their bodyboarding skills. No matter what day it is, the surf is always up as riders test their skill on a shallow sheet of onrushing water, which can be raised up to 8 feet for professionals. But don't worry if you're a beginner. Underneath is a soft padding to cushion a wipeout.
My favorite thing at Schlitterbahn is the Boogie Bahn. Start here at 10 o'clock in the morning and just surf all day. They just keep learning new stuff and get better and better.
Boogie Bahn, well, it was pretty scary initially. I didn't actually think it was going to be like that. The water comes really, really fast at you. We call it in Australia a slippery dip.
What makes Schlitterbahn #1 is that year after year it continues to be a leader in technology and innovation in the water park industry. So the next time you're in the Lone Star State, slide into Schlitterbahn and spend a wet, relaxing day at the #1 park in America.
Schlitterbahn, awesome!
And the craze has caught on. From America's Dairyland to the Big Apple and into the heart of the Old South. Water parks soak the neon lights of the Vegas Strip and glisten the Gold Coast of California. From the Snow Peak Rockies all the way to the Lone Star State, these are the best water parks in the country. A wet and wonderful way to spend a day. We've come a long way from those lazy days at the beach or in the backyard pool. Now the whole family can have all kinds of wet fun in one spot. This trend toward water parks is here to stay and will only keep growing in popularity. But in order to join the newest great American pastime, you have to do one thing. Grab your suits and hit the chutes.
Hi, Tracy Gallagher for the Travel Channel. You know, in Hollywood, it seems everyone's looking to be a big star. Easier said than done. Unless you head over to It's a Wrap in Burbank, where you can become a Hollywood heavyweight, or at least look like one. You can buy Arnold Schwarzenegger's jacket from The Sixth Day, or Renee Zellweger's outfit from Nurse Betty. And this is just one way to feel like a Hollywood player. Get ready for a VIP tour inside Tinseltown. You'll be singing...